I think it was 2020 or a little bit after 2020 when I had my really intense kind of healing spiritual transformation, and Coldplay just kind of paralleled through into my life.
I'm just imagining the music. Hey, hey. Welcome to the Daily Humans. I'm Ashley, co-host, and this is
This is Nina. Hi guys. I totally messed up the flow. I'm so sorry.
Welcome to the Daily Humans podcast. I'm co-host Ashley.
And I am Nina.
That is the chicken dance, dedicated to you by us, and don't know who it's from and who created it, but shout out to them.
We should have, now thinking about it, because she and I, we were discussing, we should make like fun intros. Like last episode, we were dancing and singing to songs and stuff. So it's like, let's keep that energy going. And now thinking about it, we could have done the, I said a hip, hop, the hip, whatever that song is. I can't remember that one. We should have done that one.
It's just the lyrics, because it's in Spanish. Don't know what we're saying. I know the dance moves though. Do you remember the dance moves?
Yeah.
She said it last episode. She's like, I am so overhearing it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was like a storm. When that song dropped in Germany, people went crazy.
I can see why. And I was telling Nina as well, we have something called the Nut Bush here, to Tina Turner's song Nut Bush. We made up a dance for it, Aussies, and I'm hopefully going to show Nina that one day so she can learn how to do it. So the moment that she gets off the plane, when she lands, she'll have to do it on her way with her luggage.
Right after I get off the plane, oh my goodness, that's gonna be a lot. Funny?
So we'll coordinate. You get off the plane and start dancing the Nut Bush. I'll be dancing the Nut Bush on my end. So we'll know who's who.
Oh no!
I'll know it's you. You'll know it's me, because I'll just be casually there going. A church house.
Yes. It'll be the only one dancing. So, well, only us two. So we can recognize each other. Real recognizes real. You know?
That's right. And I mean, let's be honest, dancing amongst people is incredibly difficult, but you know,
live your life. Go and be free.
We'll never see them again. I was just singing Apologize to Nina just then, because we had to pause it because I had to wipe my nose. My nose was running. So I decided to sing Apologize to her from Timberland, One Republic.
Oh my gosh.
You know why I sang that? At year 5 or year 6 talent show.
I love that. I love that.
My mum was in love with the song, so I sung it, and like I remember it to a T where it was. Yeah, I don't remember if I sounded good or not with it. I cannot remember that. But a lot of people cheered, so I guess that was a good sign.
Yeah, I'm sure you were amazing. It's funny. It's so funny that he brought up One Republic, because a couple days ago I was in the car and driving, and all of a sudden I heard Stop and Stare, that song from One Republic.
Yeah.
And it had a lot to do, like I've been asking for signs from the universe the last couple days, and about how to move forward and what to do with my life and stuff like that. And everything in my life has kind of been like, you need to relax, you need to slow down, you need to let go, you need to just chill. And I was like, I need a sign, like I need like maybe through a song or something. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting in the car and all I'm hearing is Stop and Stare. And I was just like, dude, I need to talk to Ashley about this, because like that is like, I get in the car and the title of the song is right there on the screen, Stop and Stare. I was like, okay, I get it. But then I'm like, how long has it been since we heard from One Republic? And I was like, I need to talk to Ashley about
True.
this because I don't know about you, but your story just confirmed that to me. Like, I was crazy about their music. They were so, so
Yep.
good. Ryan Tedder is the
Very
singer of the
talented.
band. Incredibly talented. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I wonder what they're doing now.
Hmm.
I hope they're okay.
Yeah.
Because I want them to know that they released absolute bangers.
Yes.
It's never
And the
too late to
script.
apologize.
And the script. Do you remember them?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. They
Yes.
were everywhere.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. Oh, I love music. And I know you do too. My gosh. Do you remember the actually it's hard to have this conversation in a way because you're in Germany and I'm in Australia. And what was such a big thing here? Like Skrillex was a big thing when I was a teen.
Oh my gosh.
Was it for you too?
Yes.
Boomerang?
Yeah.
Boomerang.
I never listened to any of his music because it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But like in America,
Yeah.
I was at the time I was living there and going to school there, Skrillex was everything.
That's right.
That was
Yes,
life.
Skrillex.
That was life
David
for a lot of
Guetta.
people.
Oh,
yes.
yep. David Guetta. Who
Avicii.
else was there? Avicii. Oh, may his soul be at peace.
Yeah.
Timbaland, T-Pain. T-Pain is still making music, and he needs to know that he is a talented soul.
T-Pain was everything. Oh my gosh, and still is. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I get so excited talking about him because he has come up in kind of like the internet world. I'm not sure if you saw as well, Ash, recently,
Yes,
and
I
where
have.
people discovered he can actually sing. What?
Yes. He's got a beautiful voice too.
Oh, yes, he does. He's incredible. I'm so happy for him, and I hope he continues to have his success in the spotlight rather than him being auto-tuned and not getting credit where it's due, because apparently he's had a lot of difficulties in the music industry. So, yeah, just T-Pain is a staple.
Yeah, did you hear about the interview that he talked about what Usher did? Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
I think Usher and T-Pain were on a plane together, and Usher went to T-Pain and said, I think he said something like, "Can I talk to you?" or something like that. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But he said to him, "You really effed up music," is what he said to him. And that apparently put T-Pain through a severe depression from hearing that. I think it was due to auto-tune or whatever reasons, but it was a projective statement from Usher essentially because no one was complaining. I made a TikTok about it stating that this was clearly an Usher problem and potentially certain feelings that were coming up from him, within him, because of T-Pain's success, potentially. Obviously, we don't know, but it just like, it was devastating because he's such a talented artist.
Right.
And, you know, to have something you love be really put down like that, it's just, it wasn't needed. You know, everyone has their own style and their own creativity with music. And it seems like Usher really decided to really create a projection of that.
Yeah.
But I'm so thrilled for him that he's back out there and making music.
Yes.
He's got a great voice.
Yes. Such a beautiful voice. And he seems like such a kind person as well. That's the thing. Like he always comes off very personable and down to earth. I haven't used that word in a long time, down to earth. But yes, that's how he comes across. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. There are other artists that have that vibe as well, like Coldplay. Oh, yes. The most grounded, beautiful energy that just radiates off Chris and the Coldplay gang team.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Coldplay their songs radiate that.
I don't know, Ashley, when it was that you kind of got into Coldplay, but for me personally, I went on a trip one time and a friend of mine, or I've had actually multiple people come up to me. It's like when I've asked them what their favorite artist was or who they loved listening to, and they're like, it's Coldplay, 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 and they kept coming up, to the point where I was like, okay, I gotta understand this hyperfixation on Coldplay over here. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the album was called, but it's the one with the wings on them. It's a blue album with wings on it. Sorry, Coldplay fans. I apologize for not remembering the name, but I listened to that and it was like, okay, this is something that is nice. That's interesting. Yeah, I can see how people like this. It wasn't really my style at the time. And I kind of let it go. I was like, okay, I like one or two songs here and that's it. And then I think I went through it's funny, I think it was 2020 or a little bit after 2020 when I had my really intense kind of healing spiritual transformation, and Coldplay just kind of paralleled through into my life. And it ended up coming to the point where I'm absolutely crazy about their music. I'm not like an obsessive fan, but I love their music. The last two albums that they released, it fills you with so much joy, hope, and love for the world, and really
Yeah.
makes you feel like you're part of a community. I watched their like documentaries and stuff, and like you said, Chris Martin, he has this energy to him. He's such a really calm, introspective, beautiful human being. You can tell. You can just tell. He has such great energy. Such a great person.
I agree. It's literally all about energy in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, energy is one of the main things that I and I can Nina as well goes by. And you don't even have to try. You don't even have to try. You can definitely feel it through their music. And funny enough, I don't think you knew this, but Coldplay was definitely not my genre of music for until 2020 when I spiritually awakened. The same experience as you, my friend. Again, another thing. After that, it's like my entire music playlist changed, and their songs brought in a new representation of groundedness and peace. Like listening to their music when you're driving at night with the street lights, and it's quiet. It's quiet enough. The vibe of that brought just such comfort. It really did. And you know what the other thing too? Their songs feel like anything is possible. This is the energy that I get from it. Okay, this is what I get from it. Is that listening to their songs feels like everything is possible. And it feels like it hits the things that I desire, like travel, imagine a night out in Italy, for some reason that's like my visualization when I hear some of the songs. Even Fix You. And I know Fix You is more on the lines of a deeper song, but it's still it's beautiful. But Yellow has my heart.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yellow has my heart. 100%. There are a few artists that just have that about. That's what we're going to say. You can speak.
No. You go first.
No, you go. No,
you go. Please
no, you go.
Ahead.
No, you
go ahead, Ashley.
go.
Coldplay has been a really big support of my life and my journey, especially throughout healing, because I think I mentioned it in past episodes, but I had some difficulties with my health in the last couple of years, and getting that back into line and into order. Anytime that I would feel deflated or feel really sad after like a doctor's appointment and stuff, I would get in the car, and then one particular song, it was Everglow, I think, from Coldplay would start playing, and I would feel so loved and so supported along my journey, and just like everything's going to be okay. And that's kind of the vibe that their music has. I feel like no matter what's going to happen, everything's going to be okay. We're all one and we're all together. And, no matter where you're at in your journey, we're all part of the human family. We're all part of this together, and we got each other.
I'm relieved that they give that to
Yeah.
you in those, especially during that time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they were that support system
Mm.
through it. Music has that kind of ability, I think, in so many
Yes.
ways to be so supportive in such difficult journeys. There's just something, it's frequency, you know, sound, but also, I don't know if artists know it, but it's their voice as well. There's something about their voice and potentially the lyrics, if it connects to, if it resonates to what you're feeling at that exact moment or something you need to hear, it just hits so much deeper than just listening to a song and then jamming out to it, you know. In a way, having fun to a song and jamming out to it does have a similar connection because you're kind of, you know, shaking it off, shaking the day off and dancing, you know. But when the lyrics hit and the sound hits, frequency hits, the artist's voice hits, it's a whole package. It's like, whoa. And you just feel, oh, the shivers. That's what I'm talking about. Like, have you had the shivers before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's goosebumps. Apparently, that's a rare thing for people to feel. Don't quote me
Really?
on that. But I remember coming across a TikTok of a guy talking about, and he might have just been saying it, but he was saying that it can be rare to feel goosebumps. So if you feel if you feel goosebumps over a song, then that's like a universal kind of thing connecting you to that song, whether it's the message or maybe it's just the frequency of the song that's bringing up your energy. Who knows? But
Yeah.
and I thought that was really interesting. I've had some songs that have done that. It's fascinating.
It
I don't
is.
think it's rare. Maybe just the fact that, I don't know, maybe a song really has to hit deep enough for you to just feel it in your entire body, then to give you goosebumps. Not sure. But I think it's really cool that music does this. Oh my gosh. And you know who else does it too, just to, while we're on the subject? Andrea Bocelli.
Mm.
Oh, yes. His voice. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna say it. This man needs to know. When I was a child, my father loved his music a lot, so he used to play. And I remember the house that we were renting at the time. I was about to say where we were, but I'm not going to. I was about to. The house that we were renting at the time. I remember one time we were washing the car and his music was blasting, and we were outside, and just hearing his voice was just so mesmerizing as a child. It was so soft, it was so gentle, it was so, like, it gave me goosebumps because when he goes to the high notes, it's like, whoa, you know? It was so, as a child, it was just, beautiful. But as I got older, it changed, obviously. My love for his music, he wasn't really a part of my playlist until maybe in my 20s. Maybe I think I started to tap back into his music. Yeah, in my 20s. I started to slowly tap back into his music, and I was like, oh, I got to keep him in my playlist because this man knows what he's talking about. I don't even understand some of the language because it's Italian, but it just feels so lovely. Like, it feels so mesmerizing to listen to him sing. Oh, and I love his Christmas album. Have you heard his Christmas album?
Absolutely. It's part of the playlist, the
That
Christmas
white
playlist.
album?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? Even the one he did you know he did one with his children?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Fall on Me, singing that with his son. Oh, so
gorgeous
beautiful.
Song. Yeah,
so,
absolutely stunning.
His son has talent as well, 100%. But all of them together was just so beautiful. And then the album that I grew up listening to, I can find it.
She's searching through it, you guys,
Yeah,
for
I'm
those who
searching
are
through it.
just listening in.
Yeah. Oh, in My Christmas, that album, what child is this? He sings that with, and I remember her, Mary J. Blige. Did I say her name right?
Not sure.
Oh gosh, I know who she is. He sings What Child Is This? That is one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's so beautiful when you listen to it. It's so Romanza is one of his albums as well, and a lot of his songs we listen to from that album. He has just so many. There's just so many, but one of my favorites, my absolute favorite that would really bring me out of a lot of crappy states. And it's such an uplifting song if a lot of you want to check it out. By the way, Andrea Bocelli, if you don't know, he's an Italian opera singer. But how do I explain it? The songs aren't exactly in what
They're
people kind of
influenced by
connect
pop.
opera to. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely influenced by pop in a lot of genres. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a mix. So definitely give him a listen to and try him out.
It's interesting
Because
that
we
you say
believe.
this. Oh yeah, that's a great song.
Because we believe.
Yeah.
That song really hits. That song hits. That song makes me cry.
Have you heard him sing the song The Prayer with Catherine McPhee and as well the song Can't Help Falling in Love with her as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He sang it with Celine Dion as well.
Yes. It's funny that you say as well that you grew up with him, because so did I. And it's funny because
Are you really surprised?
Not really. But my mom was the biggest fan of Pavarotti, and always played his music around the house, always had his songs playing in the background, that and Barry White. And then once Pavarotti died and passed away, Andrea Bocelli kind of filled that role in my mom's kind of music playlist. But even before then, she loved his music. And to now, like, sit here and hear you say that you also grew up with his music is just, it's amazing.
Nothing surprises me with this friendship, just how many similarities there are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I would love tickets to his show one day. He actually came. This is the thing. I don't know if he's already come to Australia because it was ages ago. I can't remember how long ago, but he was coming here. I don't know if he's cancelled his tours or something. And I remember trying to get tickets, but it was incredibly expensive. Incredibly expensive. I was actually shocked at how expensive it was, and I was like, I would really love to go, but I think it was like $3.99 or something. It was a lot, put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, more than Coldplay. It was disappointing because I would have loved to see him. I'd love to see him one day. But I don't know if that's even happened or not, Nina, because that was ages ago. And there was nothing. I never heard anything about it. So maybe it's already happened or it cancelled, not sure. But nonetheless, when we go to Italy, hopefully we can, unless he's retired. Understandably so. But I would love to see him.
Music. I think he's still making music.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Last thing I heard is that he sung for the American president.
Okay.
At Christmas, potentially might have been at Christmas time or something. That's the last thing that I heard. I don't think that was last year either. I think that was like the year before. Not sure.
Well, everything is like blended in with each other at this point, honestly.
Oh gosh, yes.
What is time?
True. Are we even in February or we're in like the middle of the year? Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Even while we're talking about concerts, we have Coldplay coming here to Australia as well. And I tried to get tickets, but that was my first experience where I honestly was so shocked at how the ticketing sales went. Because the first time, I was actually so shocked. I've never experienced that before. Getting tickets to Eric Nam and to Chase Atlantic and Russ. Nope, didn't experience that. But Coldplay, I felt like I was in a different dimension. Because I was like, what is actually happening? Like, this is some sorcery. This is something. Because I jumped on I did the pre-sale, obviously, and I jumped on. And I'm new to it. So I didn't know that you could actually wait in the waiting room 30 minutes before it opened. I didn't know that. But I jumped on about 15 minutes before the time that the tickets were going to be released. I was like, oh, there's a waiting room? Oh my gosh. So I entered the waiting room, and there was like, I sent a photo to Nina. There was like 40,000 people in front of me. Yeah. And I was crying. I couldn't believe it. I was literally like this. I was so shocked. I sent it to Nina and I was like, you got to be kidding me, mate. This is shocking. Anyway, finally got to my turn and it was all exhausted. Allocation exhausted. I don't know what it was called, but everything was exhausted. And I was like, great, I'm exhausted as well. So we're both exhausted, but there's no win-win. I don't have tickets. So your exhaustion is invalid. Anyway, I thought, it's okay. I'll try with the general sale. I'll try then, and I know what to do now. I'm going to get tickets. So general sale, I literally jumped on that computer a whole lot earlier, like an hour earlier, and I'm waiting for the waiting room to come up. Waiting room comes up. I jump in, immediately jump in. Because I was literally like, I wasn't blinking. I was looking at that screen waiting for that moment. And I clicked in. I sent a photo to Nina. There were 4,000 people in front of me. And I was like, somebody's messing with me. Somebody. It's somebody. It's the universe. Or it's just somebody. Because okay, it's all right. I can still get a ticket. It's 4,000 people. It's all good. Anyway, get to my turn. Again, tried seating, reserve seating, nothing. Nothing was coming up. All I wanted was 2 tickets, nothing. I even tried the expensive ones that I actually wanted no part of, and they were nothing as well. I tried every single option available, and it wasn't coming up with anything. I kept refreshing it. I kept trying, and nothing was coming up. And I was like, how is it all? I don't understand, though. How was it already sold out? I don't understand how this works. And there's so many days that they're coming to. I think they're coming for 3 or 4 days in Melbourne. I think they're doing either 3 or 4 shows. I can't fully remember. But I thought, how is this already gone? I don't understand. The math ain't mathin'. The brain ain't brainin'. I don't get it. I was confused for a majority of the day. And I'm still lowballing. I'm still quite upset about it. Right. And then Nina told me that this is kind of a thing for popular artists. And that just, yeah. I still just don't get how that even, if it's a whole bunch of resellers, what are they called? Like
resellers.
Resellers, if it's a whole bunch of them, but then they give you limits on how many tickets you can buy. They gave limits. Yeah. I know they gave limits. So I can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand. I still don't get it. Mainly because I really wanted to see them.
It's a terrible thing. I agree. And it's something that has definitely turned me off to a lot of different artists and seeing them in concert, because it's like you have to jump through so many hoops just to get the opportunity to get a ticket, and recently I had a friend of mine, she wanted to see an artist, and this artist is abroad, so she was going to fly to see this artist, and go to that country to see this artist because they only performed in this one country. And not only do you have to sign up for 2 fan sites that you have to pay for, but also you have to prove that you're the nationality of the country just to get access to those tickets. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? She's like, yeah, it's she was very devastated because this is an artist she has looked forward to seeing her entire life. And in retrospect, even with my own moments of wanting to see certain people, I used to be a massive Beyonce fan. And so, like, one of the big things I wanted to do in my life was see her in concert. And the process of it was just ridiculous to the point where I have given up. Nowadays I don't really feel the need to see her in concert. I'd rather see, different artists, and definitely artists who are easier to get tickets of, because I don't know, there's something about having a pre-sale, first of all, that you then have to sign up for, and then also a fan club so you can get access to the pre-sale. And it's too much. It's supposed to be, the pre-sale was a thing in the past where it's like, why do you have to do pre-sales? You can just do general sales. And now we have to get two other hoops to jump through, where you have to go sign up at a certain thing just to get early access to the pre-sale. And by the time that you're actually there and paid everything you need to pay just to get the opportunity, the tickets will be gone. And it's unfortunate. I think the music industry can do a lot better than what they're doing. And with scalpers, I think they're called scalpers or resellers, it's just they take full advantage of the popularity of certain groups, certain artists, and it's just unfortunate. But we shall see Coldplay eventually, Ashley. We shall. We are meant to.
I will be.
Clearly.
We will be seeing Coldplay. 100%. I'm still going to keep trying because I've learned from Taylor Swift, because she's currently here in Melbourne. I learned today that people tried at like the last minute and got tickets, and I was like, is that a universal sign? Because I'll take it. I am 100% going to try. I've been entering competitions and stuff. I'm trying because I really we need to see them. We need to see them. Coldplay, if you hear this, which I don't believe anything is impossible, please. We'll definitely get to see them. I think there'll be many more shows. I reckon they will. Because I feel like they've kind of peaked a lot more lately. Maybe, I don't know. And maybe everyone else is tapping into that frequency, that same energy. It's flowing. It's flowing around. Yeah.
It's wild, I think, how much music can make life so much better and make us feel so many different things. And I don't know about you, Ash, but when we were talking about like music giving us goosebumps and things like that, is it the same when you hear a new song or decide to sit down and listen to a new album, a new artist, when you just hear certain notes within a song and you already know that you're going to love it? It's just like a 5-second response where you just hear it and it's like, this is going to be my song. It is the most incredible moment when you get to have that type of connection. And unfortunately, it hasn't happened a lot recently since having my spiritual awakening, which is interesting, but it's a beautiful thing when it does happen. And you see a lot of the lyrics then coincide with your experiences and you being able to relate, or it making you feel a certain way. It's just, music is so powerful. So powerful.
100%.
It's unfortunate 100%. That the industry in and of itself is so toxic and doesn't treat its artists well. And then you have the whole process of getting tickets when you do actually have the opportunity to see them. And I'm sure in Australia, it's not that easy. In fact, you did say that before, didn't you, Ash? Like, a lot of artists just don't go to Australia.
No, not really. Not really, to be honest, unless I'm in another world. But if we're talking about, let's say, K-pop, to my awareness, no. Don't remember the last time BTS was here. I mean, I kind of I'm going to say it again. I kind of just discovered them not long ago. So I don't think I can really say a lot on that. But from what I've seen, I don't think they've been here for a long time. So maybe it just depends. I mean, we've had Taylor Swift here from my knowledge. As I said, we've had Eric come, Chase Atlantic, Russ came in 2022. Who else has come? I think we had Ed Sheeran, maybe. I don't know. I don't think we've had Adele. Maybe not. We've had Pink. Pink's here right now as well.
Yes.
I honestly don't know who else. I can't think of anyone else. It just doesn't feel as present. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel like a lot, but maybe, I don't know. Can't really fully answer it. I didn't actually start to go to concerts until 2022. Eric Nam was my first concert. Yeah. So I have never been apart from that exact time. And then the second one was Chase Atlantic. And then third was Russ. I did 3 concerts in 1 year.
That's nice. That's
in awesome. A short span. It was actually nice. It was a different atmosphere. And it's interesting too, because all 3 had different energy. All 3 were very different in crowds. It really, and there's no ill intention from saying that either, but it was very interesting for the first time going to a concert. Like Russ, for an example, it had a lot of smells. like vaping and other stuff as well going on. Chase Atlantic was very hype, yeah. And then Eric Nams was kind of quiet, not to the full extent, but enough that I was like, are we all gonna jam? You know, like I feel, where's the jam? Because I don't feel like we're jamming enough to the jam. That was kind of my thought process, is it wasn't a lot of energy for Eric's, but he had a lot of energy and I was having a ball. But everyone else was kind of quiet. And I don't know, because again, I'm not that experienced with the concert etiquette. I didn't know if that was a thing or not, or if people listen to the artist and don't do that. I don't know. But 3 different conferences. 3 different concerts, 3 different vibes.
You handled that a lot better than I could have, or I did in the past, because I always saw, the idea that I have from concerts are the things I've seen from TV. So it's like people going crazy, going wild, like, yeah, like a festival, that kind of an energy. And then I went to my very first concert and I thought it was like this everywhere with every artist. And let's just say I brought the energy and everybody else did not. So I was the loudest in the whole entire theater that we were in. People were turning around to look at me and I'm like, why are people looking at me? Like, I'm just having fun. It was a group called, I think it was a group, Celtic Thunder. That was an Irish, I mean, I should have guessed, but that was like an Irish pop, traditional type of music, but they were a lot of fun. They brought a lot of energy to the stage. And I was living in LA at the time. I think it was like 15, 16 years old. And that was my first concert. So I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to have a fun time. And I went and I brought all the energy. It was like, woo, like cheering and clapping and like, yeah. And everybody else was pin quiet. Nobody made a sound. People barely clapped at times after songs. And I was embarrassed because these people came from Ireland all the way over just to be treated that way in LA, out of all places. And so I compensated for the rest of them, but because of that, people just did not like me, which is fine. I'm glad I let my freak flag fly.
I'm glad you did too, because I would too. I don't know how you can be so still among someone that is performing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such a support thing to show the energy that you feel for their music and what they've created. I feel like it's respectful. Unless they've, I guess, asked you to remain quiet. What's the reason to remain quiet?
Right.
That's very interesting. So I'm glad you brought the energy. Yeah. Someone needed to. Someone needed to.
Yeah. It was very interesting. And the second concert I ever went to was from an artist that is now very much hated online, called Jay Park. But he makes, I will say to anybody listening that knows who this person is, don't come at me. I still think he's an incredible artist. And at the end of the day, if we all let go of like problematic artists, we will be listening to absolutely nobody. So, but he is more of a hip hop artist. He does hip hop, R&B, pop, that kind of genre. And I went to his concert in LA as well when I was a little bit older, and it was in Koreatown. And I did not know that that area was part of like gang culture, and you were not supposed to wear the color red because it's not, there's a gang there that it's a long story. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but just red makes you a target in the area if you wore red in that area. I did not know because,
What
you
if you
know,
have red hair?
I think that's fine, but I think it's more so clothing based because it's gang affiliation,
Sorry.
you know. And so me being, I think I was 18, 17, 18 years old, I went there with a red dress and I showed up and I was feeling good. I was like, I'm going to have a great time tonight. You know, this time I know I can like scream and have a good time. And everybody just stared at me once I arrived at the venue. And I was like, why are people staring at me? It was a little bit weird. Like everybody was staring at me. I was like, okay, that's a bit strange. It's like, okay, I'm wearing red. You know, it's obvious. People see that color. It's noticeable. That must be why. And then I discovered when coming home after the concert is it's actually not because people noticed me. It's because I wore red in a neighborhood that where you can get very hurt. Let's use that language. We're very, very hurt for just having that color on. And so that day just kind of was crazy for me anyway. I have a very long story about that concert, but I'll save that for another time and just say that the concert was great. But like you said, different genres, different artists attract a lot of interesting people. And the varied genres, especially if you like multiple ones, multiple different artists, it's interesting to see what kind of people gravitate to what kind of music. And the people at the concert, I met some really amazing, incredible people that ended up being friends that I have to this day, but also very problematic people there, very suspicious people. Whereas, you know, like Celtic / Irish pop music, it's like older people, younger children, things like that. And so it's very, very interesting what type of music attracts certain type of people. But yeah.
Be interesting to know what those who are watching and listening, what your favorite genres are, if it's multiple, because it can be. Who says you can't have multiple in your playlist? Because I sure do.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with having one song from one artist, another one song from another artist. I literally went to Eric Nam's concert only knowing one song because I wanted to experience and I wanted to hear him. And because I heard more songs, I downloaded them because I loved them. So I don't feel like there's any rules to that apart from what people create, which is just sucks the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
But be interesting to know what kind of genres you all like. Music is our jam. We dedicated a whole episode to it because of how much we love it. And I hope that any artists out there or those that are wanting to get into music, you know, definitely support you and send that support out. There are so many creative artists on TikTok that I've come across and saved their music. There are artists like Tony22, Asia Berlin, and I might be saying her name wrong, and if I am, I apologize. Even Janine as well, her song Loving Me, I got that from TikTok. It's such a beautiful song. Autumn Rain's Safe House is a really good song. There's so many independent artists out there that truly deserve support. And any of you that want to start this journey, you should. If it feels like it resonates to you, you should put out your creativity. Put out your art, not even just music, just in general. Put out your art, put out your creativity. We want to see it. It's individual to you. And what you have to put out is, no matter if it's the same as someone else, it doesn't matter. It's because it's different. No, let me say it again. It doesn't matter if someone else is doing it. The difference is it's coming from you, and you will express it in your way. So let it shine. Let us see it. Let us experience it. Let us hear it.
Yes, absolutely. I so agree, especially now with everything that's happened with UMG on TikTok. It's kind of like the perfect time if you're an artist out there wanting to be heard to put your music on the platform, because it's time to go. Time to support the independent singer-songwriters, artists, all of that. Because I love that. I love when I am able to see somebody grow in something that they're so passionate about, rather than, you know, just somebody who feels very distant and very removed. I feel like that is something that is, I don't know if you can agree, Ash, but something that has definitely come up in recent times, where it's like we want people who we can relate to, who we like, you know, rather than just like somebody to like look up to and idolize, in that sense. So another artist that yeah, definitely. And another artist that I think everybody should be looking out for is Teddy Swims. I believe that's his name. Absolutely incredible voice. Oh my goodness. Please go ahead and listen to his music. And just, yeah, to anybody out there listening who wants to be an artist, I've been there before. I'm currently writing some songs, but you know, maybe someday you'll see me on TikTok too. But to any artists out there, regardless of what you do, please put your art out there. Let us see it. Let us receive you, because you deserve it.
Yeah. Even through any kind of fear that you feel or insecurities over it, don't worry. No matter what creative field you join into, people feel it. Nina and I have felt it. We've gone through it. There are so many podcasts out there. We've had our moments, but we stick to our guns, knowing that we're individuals and we create through our own individual selves. And we're finding peace in that. And I hope you find that peace in that too, for you to release and experience and do it through yourself and no one else. Comparison is a thief of joy anyway. So
yes,
let it flow, friends. Let it flow.
Absolutely.
And on that note, friends, we're wrapping up with the whole topic of our favorite thing, music. So I hope it was your favorite thing too, and that you enjoyed this episode just as much as we did talking about it. I cannot wait to have more discussions about music. Oh my gosh. Love it. Live for it. So thank you for joining in as always. Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.